Hi there, my name is John. I'm from the local Felixstowe Salvation Army. And like you in the town, I'm disappointed that we haven't got a carnival this year because we used to enjoy looking at the parade and joining in all the fun. But for us at Felixstowe Salvation Army, it's a happy weekend because for the last 12 months, we've had no ministers, no officers. We've had to, as a church, lead ourselves through right to this point. But the good news for us is that at this weekend, the installation takes place of our new commanding officers, who are Major David and Katrina Lennox, and you can see them there and give us a smile. That's brilliant.
Nice to meet you.
Now I'm going to just ask them a number of questions, which hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about them. And my first question is to David, and it's in two parts. It's how long have you been in the Salvation Army? And where has your service since you became an officer taken you? So your journey, where has it been to this point at Felixstowe?
I encountered the Salvation Army at the age of 9 when I was sent along to Sunday school in Gateshead, and I became a Salvation Army officer at the age of 21. And my very first appointment was North London, a place called East Finchley. And since that time, 36 years ago, we've had various appointments from Ryde on the Isle of Wight all the way up to Carlisle. And 3 years ago, we came to Great Yarmouth, and we're delighted today to be in Felixstowe and looking forward to the future.
Nobody's more delighted than we are at Felixstowe, I can assure you. Katrina, same question. How long have you been in the Salvation Army? And then a little bit of information about your family, because I know that's what people want to know. Where are they? What are they doing?
Okay.
Can you tell us?
Yeah, I've been in the Salvation Army all my life. At the age of 2 weeks old, my parents who attended the Salvation Army, then in Hartlepool, I was dedicated at the Salvation Army. So I've been all the way through the Salvation Army. Our family, we have 3 children. Our eldest son, Timothy, along with his wife, Charlotte, they're the Salvation Army officers in Dublin City Corps. And they have 2 children, so we have Israel 6 and Aurora 2. Then our son, Peter, he's married to Beth, and they have a son, Tobias, who is 8 months old. And they're in the transition. They're moving from Luton to Salisbury because Peter has got a job at the Vineyard Fellowship at Salisbury, working part-time for the church, and he does part-time for International Teams UK because they have a heart for mission, both Pete and Beth. And then our daughter Abby, she lives in Walthamstow. She works for the Salvation Army. She works in the anti-human trafficking team around London, but she's also studying, and her partner, he works at the hospital at St Thomas's and St Guy's. They should have got married this September, but unfortunately that's delayed, so we have to wait a further year for their wedding to happen next year.
Brilliant. And I'm sure that we're going to see them on holiday at Felixstowe in the next few years anyway. We're good to meet them. David, what do you enjoy most about being a Salvation Army officer?
I enjoy meeting people, coming alongside and journeying with them, find people fascinating and their life's experience. So that's one of my joys of being a Salvation Army officer, was getting to know people and sharing their life's journey with them, whether that is as Christians or in their exploration of whatever they want to do in life. It's one of my delights.
Excellent, excellent. Having been a Salvation Army officer for quite a lot of years myself, I know it's a very, very busy life. But Katrina, outside of being a Salvation Army officer, what are your interests? This should be interesting.
Well, much to my husband's dismay, my biggest thing that I like to do is jigsaws. So if I want to just get quiet and be quiet and have just zone out of work, I like to have a jigsaw on the go. But David thinks that they're a total waste of time, but I enjoy them. And the other thing that I really, really love, and I don't get enough time to do is sewing. I've got my sewing machine. In fact, talking about my daughter's wedding, I've got a wedding dress to make this next year. So as well as coming to Felixstowe and ministering and getting to know you as a community, I'll have to be hard at work getting the wedding dress sorted. So that's my interest, sewing and jigsaws.
Great. So if I need a button sewn on,
yes,
I know where to come now. That's brilliant. I'll go back to David. What would you like the people of Felixstowe, this town, to see in our church?
Jesus, when he was speaking to his disciples and friends, said this. He says, "By this, people will know that you are my followers, if you love one another." I think every Christian church needs to demonstrate love to each other, and then beyond its walls, to our friends and neighbours, family, and the stranger alike. So I'd like to think that Felixstowe Salvation Army is well known for its love for its members, but also for the community as well.
Great. We'll try and follow you with that. That would be brilliant. Katrina, have you time in your busy ministry as an officer for young people?
I absolutely love school ministry. It's been part of my officership, going into schools, doing school assemblies, coming alongside, doing classwork. Also the children within the church, getting alongside them, and having activities. I very much enjoy messy church and all that entails. I have in the past done a bit of puppet ministry as well. So anything that engages not only the children but also their parents. The difficulties you can win children by different activities, but it's also they're engaging with their parents and making sure that there's something that as a church. But definitely children have been a big part of my ministry and will continue to be so.
Brilliant. You're ticking every box so far. That is really good. That is really good. I'm going to ask you both a question. David first. If you weren't a Salvation Army officer, what would you like to be?
If I wasn't a Salvation Army officer, I think I would want to be a trained counsellor, listening to people. That's where I find the most pleasure, is actually listening to people and engaging with people. So Salvation Army kindly allowed me to do a degree in pastoral care with psychology, and currently I'm looking into doing a degree in counselling. So yes, I'd like to be a trained counsellor.
Yeah, I'm getting the opinion you like people.
Yes,
you like to be with them, yes. Okay, Katrina, now, if you weren't a Salvation Army officer, I'm waiting to hear what you'd like to be.
I think I would be in the financial sector, working with finance. Before I became a Salvation Army officer, I was a bank clerk. And I think I would have maybe followed in that style. So I think on the finance, although when I left school, I originally did want to be a fashion designer. I did want to take my sewing as my career, but the Lord had other ideas and he decided, no, I needed you as a Salvation Army officer. So I think financial is where I would be today.
Great. Well, I'm sure the finance team will love to hear that.
Oh, right.
Now, a question for both of you, which will break or make your stay in Felixstowe. David, what football team do you support?
I'm a long-suffering Newcastle United supporter.
Very long-suffering.
I think we ought to pray for you right now.
Although I do realise I've done some research, I'm going to have to take some interest in Felixstowe and Walton FC. And I suppose, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there'll be lots of Ipswich Town supporters.
You're right there. Lots of Ipswich Town. And if you hadn't said that, you wouldn't have a band.
Oh, right.
Okay. Katrina, Who do you support?
Oh, football's not my game, really. Although when I grew up in Manchester, obviously for me to go to work, I used to pass Old Trafford football ground. That was on my bus route from my home, from Urmston into Manchester. So I suppose Manchester United if I was pushed, but really tennis is more my game. I'm really disappointed that there's no Wimbledon. What's that all about this
Well,
month?
yeah, but we have got some tennis courts here, so
Oh, right.
when the sun shines, you'll be okay. Great. Well, what I hope that you're here with us many years, but by the time you leave, you'll be able to say, "Come on, you Blues," which is it's good. It's good to greet. It's good to greet you and to welcome you to Felixstowe, and we look forward to you leading us in the Salvation Army. Can I say to the people of the town that if you see the majors walking around the town at the moment, you can't hug them, you can't shake hands with them, but you can stand a little bit apart and have a chat with them, and I'm sure they'll be pleased to talk to you. As you've heard, they're people, and we're so pleased to have them. So welcome once again to Felixstowe, and ladies and gentlemen from Felixstowe, have a look at those faces. You're going to see a lot of them in the future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank
look
you. And
forward
may
to
God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.